That was something.
What up, guys?
What up, guys?
It's been a minute. A week, if I'm being
Yeah.
kind of
A
precise
week?
about it.
Is it a week?
I think so, no?
Yeah.
Or maybe less.
Well,
But,
welcome to the Sunday podcast.
Yeah, welcome to Sonder Podcast.
Welcome to Sunday podcast.
Yeah.
In this new season, we talk about random stuff.
Yeah, feelings, actions, predictions.
Anything that like might be a question for ourselves and
Yeah.
maybe a question for you. And we just talk about this stuff with our feelings and our opinions and our experiences, basically, right?
Yeah, and hope something resonates with you.
Yep.
And hope that you're gonna find something useful.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah.
And we hope we could something useful. I mean.
Yeah, because we're learning as you are at the moment. So
Yeah. So like we don't the stuff that the topic that we usually pick, we try to think it in the moment most of the time. And,
yeah, and then discover it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's not really like written that we're gonna do this, right?
Yeah. No research behind it.
No research behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today we're gonna talk about home.
The feeling of home. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Um,
me and Tom's decided to talk about the feeling of home. What does it mean to be at home?
yeah. What is the sentiment that you get when you maybe think about home, or maybe when you're revisiting some old feelings about
If I ask
home.
this question from you,
yeah.
what kind of sentiment, what kind of feelings comes to your mind, or like playing with this?
I think at the the very first thought in my mind is like happiness
Happiness.
and love and all the good memories that I've had with either a place or people.
But if it wasn't memories, like if you just wanted to feel home, because if you decide to, like what I see now is that like, if you decide to go and call a place or a person or whatever,
Yeah.
oh,
There's actually a helicopter like flying
but-
right above us right now.
yeah.
You see how popular our podcast is?
Feel me?
Fucking watchers from the sky, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you base on a home, if you name a place home based
Yeah.
on a memory,
Yeah.
I think you are sticking to the comfort. You know what I mean? Like wherever you go, wherever you travel, or wherever you, like whoever you're with, basically, it's like you always try to remember what it was because it doesn't really feel like home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if you base it on the memory, but
It's
if
true.
we didn't want to base it on the memory, what would we say? What would be the feeling of home?
I think you can like make yourself feel at home as well with like, I don't know, for example, making like a new place where you go from your old home to the new place.
Mm-hmm.
You can make that place also a home with
Yeah.
how do you say entre guillemets fucking French words are mixing with English words.
What is it?
Like,
Imitate?
like the
Like a
the little-
home. Yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can I feel like you can make every place a home if you like make it cozy, add some things to it, like
Some some feelings that like is familiar to you.
yeah.
Mm.
Like
What if
try
you
to.
couldn't?
What if we couldn't make these
'Cause, like,
feelings?
I think it's necessary to feel like home
Yeah.
wherever you go,
Yeah.
whoever you with,
Yeah.
friends, relationships, family, like whatever. 'Cause like it's quite strange to me that we make borders between each other and then like call this is my country or this is my city, this is my region, this is my like neighborhood, and others are not my home, and this is only my home.
Yeah, but how
It's
would
quite
you?
strange, right?
It is, but in this case, how would you make it? Like, what would be the actions to make this feeling happen into yourself? What
I
would you?
think.
Yeah, which tools would you use to create it?
Hmm.
Or if you like, maybe you don't need to use any tools. Maybe you like already have a feeling of home every day, in every
Me, I
place.
mean, I don't. That's why I ask this question.
Yeah,
At least, I do feel at home in some points, in some moments of my life.
yeah,
I do. I do feel like at home when I'm sitting here, we're talking, for example.
yeah, yeah,
Like next to the water, I feel at home.
yeah,
Always next to the sea, or in the nature. Like when I go to the mountains, I feel at home.
yeah,
Cause like it doesn't really matter what's going on around me. Honestly, I'm so captivated
yeah,
with the nature itself that I cannot really think of anything else. Like it doesn't feel strange to me. It feels like I was part of this once. I was like a mountain once or something like that.
yeah. It's so interesting because in my in my perspective, I think I have all these like little predispositions of a thing that makes some place a home
Home.
that I
Yeah.
have to like constantly recreate it.
It's hard though.
Yeah,
When
yeah,
you have this like pre-ideas,
yeah,
pre-opinions about the home, the idea of home,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
hard to really like feel like home because you're always trying to go back to the memories,
yeah,
to,
yeah,
to
yeah,
those good nostalgia,
yeah,
and those nostalgias are usually happened and maybe not gonna happen today, and you
yeah,
just keep going back to them because it feels nice and comfortable at that moment.
yeah. But then like when, for example, you change a place or you go somewhere else or you're like traveling, usually people create a new whole version of home someplace else,
That's true.
which is completely different, and
That's
that's
true.
also interesting.
It is true.
How
It is.
you
It is
know,
interesting. Like
yeah,
how they get adapted and uh, how they integrate in their environments and in the society.
yeah,
Like you go from a country to another country with a different language, with a different culture,
yeah,
and then you feel home again.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe there's like I think I would say that like that process could be difficult as well.
Of course.
To create a whole new feeling of home,
Of course. Of course.
and that it is like really strongly connected also with fear, because fear of change,
Yeah.
fear of like leaving something behind you,
Yeah.
fear of discovering something new
I think
and adapting to something new. Yeah,
exactly. I think one of the reasons that we don't feel like home is the fear itself. Like fear is the main stream of like a block
yeah,
that is if you consider like a home, the feeling of home is a stream, and like the fear is the block that doesn't let go of this stream to move on, to be,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
to connect to every moment that there is,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
and
that's a huge thing.
it's
Yeah.
quite strange though. I don't know. I really don't understand. You make me understand, please, because it's really strange for me that like I always think about it. I
Yeah,
often think about it.
about the feeling of home.
About the feeling of home and like how crazy it is that we are separated by nations.
Yeah,
Like, who says that, for example, this country is ours and the next country is yours? Because like we were all born in the same planet.
that's true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
And
yeah,
who says this part is mine and that part is yours? It's crazy a little bit,
it
isn't it?
is. Yeah, 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 yeah. But I mean, it's strongly dependent also on the culture,
It's because of our fear we do this.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
you see,
yeah. We just like need to, be a part of
yeah,
something.
be a part of something exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then that being part of something push us away from being actually feeling like home wherever you go. Because like,
Yeah,
because this is your planet.
yeah,
Earth is like where we born, and it should feel like home wherever you go,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I mean, that sounds crazy and ideal, But at the same time, it sounds sane to me because it doesn't make sense for me that, like, I don't know, my country is different than this country. Like, this country is not. This shouldn't like feel like home
Yeah.
because it's a different culture, different language, and different people. Who
Yeah.
says they're different? For example, who says like people are different from this side and that side?
Yeah, yeah, that's a good question. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because we all have the same problems. We all have fears. We
Yeah.
all have anxieties. We all have we all feel love. We all feel happiness. Of course, I'm not talking about the psychopaths, but but
What?
we all feel all this like sadness or whatever. These are all of us. We
Yeah.
all have this. Of course, on the surface, we have different problems, the economy, or
Yeah.
I don't know, what should I do like tomorrow and stuff like this that we always like
Yeah.
caught and that we don't really appreciate the moments because of these superficial stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't know what is the like. I would say that like the like there's a lot of little things that like at the end of the day kind of separates us. But as we talked like in the like obviously as
In a
well
deeper
in the
sense,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, in the previous episodes like about the what was the thing
We talked about.
conformity.
Yeah. The second episode and the first episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like there are a lot of things that like at one point like separates countries, nations, ethnicities, all that, but at the same time I'm pretty sure that all the cultures has come from similar beginnings, you know?
Of course.
So
Of
maybe
course.
that yeah, maybe like yeah, I don't know,
If you
the feeling of like differentiating yourself from the others,
from
you know?
others,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you want it to be different to be safe, right?
And you want to be also special
You
in
want
some
to,
ways, you
yeah.
know?
You want to feel special
Yeah, yeah.
because I don't know, like I think it's a put down to tell to somebody, for example, oh, like you're similar to other people,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because I'm special.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
true. And
I'm
a lot of
different.
yeah, and a lot of people also take pride in like being a part of certain nations as well,
Yeah.
you know? And I
I
think
don't
that
get
plays
that.
a role as well.
I don't really get that because as somebody that who lived outside of my country for a
Yeah.
while,
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call it my country or whatever.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's like at this point, I'm trying to be cautious when I say something like that.
Obviously, obviously.
But when you leave in a different places,
Hmm.
you need to feel at home.
Yeah, you
Cause
yeah.
you go insane if you don't feel at home.
Yeah.
You know, and then you kind of realize that like, why is it that I'm not supposed to feel like home here and feel at home like there? You know?
Yeah.
What's the difference between here and there? Or like, what is the feeling of home actually?
Yeah. I
We go back to the same question that we started.
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of things are dependent also on the ability to adapt to the environment, because I can like certainly think of some people in my life who wouldn't be able to, you know, to go somewhere completely, you know, alone, for example, and try and eventually find a way to like integrate that society
Yeah.
and make this feeling of home like while living there, because it's possible. It's nothing like it takes time. It takes time to have this feeling, but I think it's like possible to like yeah, feel at home while not being at home as well, you know, in some way, because yeah.
You know, I kind of feel that home feeling. There's a lot of care in it.
Yeah,
You see
there's a
what I
lot
mean?
of like yeah,
A lot of attention and care,
yeah,
right? Because like when you are at home and you feel at home, like there is care in that home. You know, if your parents, for example, mom, your father, like they care about you. You know,
yeah,
they
yeah,
like
yeah.
they're not like careless. They're like
Mhm.
whatever. You know,
Yeah,
they put you in an environment that you're free,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, um, have some ground rules, I guess, right? I don't know. I
Yeah.
cannot really say for sure. I'm sure that, like in the feeling of home, there is care,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned that because
because
yeah.
there is care, right?
Yeah, yeah,
In a sense that you need to care, and they need to care for you as well. The home itself, they need to care for you as well.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the home itself doesn't mean that like you go inside the
Mm-hmm.
cage or inside the house that we call it generally,
Yeah, yeah.
and then we call it home. No, but I feel like the home itself is like wherever you go
Mm-hmm.
in that place or whatever place, it feels that you are comfortable,
Yeah.
you are cared, you're taken care of.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
I think it's really like important that you like mentioned the aspect of caring and care
Yeah.
because well, this might be a kind of stupid example, right? But like I don't like sometimes I don't feel that like you actually need like a care from like the exterior that you feel about you, that you can like kind of create this caring feeling also about yourself while like I don't know going for a run or just taking care of yourself,
Of course.
right?
Of course.
And maybe that would be one of the solutions as well to like better integrate in some new area that you have arrived to like continue just like taking care of yourself. I don't know, brushing teeth in the morning, go like taking a shower, going to the gym,
Yeah. Yeah.
all these like little things.
Just go under the sun for example,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
for
And
2
then
seconds.
yeah, and all these little things like they add up, and I would say that's kind of. I think it would be possible that it would like create a home feeling for me, like to
But what
to
about
take care of
outside
yourself.
of that? What about in the society? Because you need to feel like home when you're in a society as well. Because like, it's true that uh, we can live our lives, especially in this age.
Yeah.
We can live our lives as separated as possible from other people.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, but we need people, and
that's also true. Yeah.
how do you feel at home with other people? Because you need people in your life, and the relationships matters. Of course, like anything in life start from a relationship.
That's true.
Like any adventure starts from a relationship.
Yeah.
You know, any
yeah.
crazy story starts from a relationship. Of
The-
course, there are stories from you and you yourself alone, but there is
No, but I think even sometimes when, well, for example, right now I'm living with 4 different people, right? And as sick as it might sound, I feel like home, even if I like don't like talk to them like regularly, or like don't go out with them. I kind of feel like home because I guess like I don't know. Maybe it's the feeling that like there's still people in the in the apartment the same as me, that I'm not like completely alone, and that also like creates this feeling of a home at the end of it, right?
It does.
Yeah, and
It does.
that's the social part as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Because I believe talk is absolutely cheap. Words are meaningless. Honestly, we just try to communicate as much as possible, but we try
yeah. But
because
a lot of times,
it's a lot of times it's lost in it. You know,
Yeah,
it's called
yeah.
lost in translation. It's like
it is.
you cannot really like say how really it feels. For example, that you are
Yeah.
with someone, or how do you feel exactly in that moment?
Yeah.
What intensity it is, you know?
Yeah, and it's also like maybe more difficult to like express your like self like real felt emotions if
Yeah.
you don't if you have to express them in the foreign language.
Yeah, yeah, that too.
That's true.
That
That's true.
too.
Yeah,
That too.
yeah,
Of course.
yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
And maybe
words are.
yeah, yeah. And maybe like that could like bring us also to the fact that like um why we tend to like separate the nations as well from that perspective, you know?
That's true.
Because if you have like a direct conversation with the person from your country, you will be able to like this is a little bit of a dilemma for me because sometimes, you know, considering the fact that I only communicate right now in English or French, I sometimes lose the words in Latvian, and then I when I go back, I'll like,
It's hard to.
Mom, what was the word for you know?
Does she speak English?
No, no, no.
No.
So I have to like
You just
rewire
yeah,
my
you
brain.
rewire,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But that's also
it's
funny, right?
It is funny,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I feel that also in the language that we're born with, the mother language, that also get lost. You know, that expression get lost.
Yeah.
I feel that expression is like undescribable, untalkable.
Mm-hmm.
You only can transmute it. Like you can just like give the vibe and energy to other people.
Yeah. In some way. Yeah.
It
That's
doesn't
true.
really translate into words,
That's true.
honestly.
Yeah.
And
That's why we have like different languages to communicate in.
yeah, and,
right?
that's what I'm saying. It's kind of funny that we create groups and nations and environments and different cultures, different rules and stuff like that, to translate in similarities.
Yeah.
And similarities feel like home, but it doesn't really feel like home. It's if you think about it, similarities, like looking for similarities other people and in nations that, like, oh, for example, I'm this nation,
Yeah.
I'm from this nation. Those similarities are the ones that keeping you from really seeing what really is the world.
Yeah, because because you're constantly trying to maybe like compare them with the with your nation's
Exactly.
expressions,
like, what
emotions
it is, what it is back home. Oh, it's
Yeah.
different here.
Yeah.
It's just
I just actually like thought of a funny example that I think
Tell
it
me.
is funny. Imagine if there would be a country who only like communicated with the body language.
the what?
The body language.
The body language. It could communicate in body language. Have you seen this? Is it the movies? The Silence? Silence? There's this movie that, like, if you talk, they're like this crazy animals that they attack you.
Yeah. I think I've seen. Yeah. But
You heard of it probably, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? You cannot talk.
Yeah. No, but but actually there is people who only communicate with body language, like
Of course, like
the fucking
Yeah.
Imagine if there would be
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, in I wonder how it feels to be to not hear anything, for example,
Yeah. Or to not see something.
or to
Or
not see something.
anything, right? Yeah. But like that's
Because so much of the culture would cut off
He-
right there.
completely.
If you don't hear,
Yeah.
or if you don't, see,
Yeah.
so many of the culture.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Our culture consists of words, language. I don't know,
Symbols.
fashion, symbols, and all that.
Yeah.
And for seeing the fashion of the day or the symbols of the day,
Mhm.
you need to see,
Be
and
able
for
to, yeah,
hearing the stuff
yeah.
that, like, every person talks about.
Yeah.
It's
And if you
you need
don't
to- you
like
need to
see it,
hear.
yeah.
right, and are like those people without these abilities, are they should, like, abandon the feeling of home because they don't hear, or they don't see,
Yeah, but then
'Cause-
yeah.
because
yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, but like at the same time, like at that point, if you're either like if you can't see or you're deaf, for example, you're still gonna find people like that as well in the world. And that's gonna be the thing that like kind of like separate. At least like obviously it's different because it's physical incapability, right? Right, physical handicap.
Yeah.
You either can't hear or can't see, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting. I don't know, like obviously that they have their own culture as well in some kind of way, right?
But more limited, right?
Yeah, limited. Yeah.
But is
Yeah,
it?
but yeah, that's an
Are
interesting
we?
topic
If you
to.
yeah, if you for example have this physical disabilities, so I mean there are so many things that in this life that we always like have this crazy opinions about it, so strongly opinions about it that they're gone for them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So you can say that these are not general opinions, like
Mhm.
these are not like valuable opinions,
Yeah.
because for these people it doesn't make any sense.
That's completely
A,
true.
a valuable opinion, a value,
Mhm.
a good value is
Yeah.
a value it covers every human being, right?
Mhm. That
mean,
includes everything.
It
Yeah.
includes everything.
Yeah.
Because like, if you wanna feel at home,
Mhm.
right? It like everything needs to be included,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because if you separate yourself and say like no to one thing,
Mhm.
then because that thing exists still in the environment,
Mhm.
you're not gonna feel at home, right?
Yeah,
Because you feel
that's
strange to
it.
that thing,
That's a good point.
right?
Yeah.
So if you keep excluding things from yourself,
Yeah, you're excluding yourself from the feeling of home.
Exactly.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And
Isn't that crazy
yeah, it
that we
is.
do this?
Yeah, it made me. It like made me think as well. To I've been working with like people in association that works with people with Down syndrome and autism, and well, I think in my opinion, like an interesting thing to mention would be that like every single one of them have their own way of communicating with
Communication.
you. Like they're like so different in so many ways.
Of course.
And yeah, I don't know with like what I was trying to explain with this like example, but yeah, maybe like the individuality aspect, maybe.
The individuality aspect of people.
Yeah.
What about that?
Um, like we're like considering that we're like talking about feeling of the home and all that. Yeah, I don't know how to connect this.
What about
actually?
'cause, do you know what does individual mean?
Individual. Individual.
Being an individual, what does it mean?
I would say being an individual is having like certain way of thinking, certain capacities, certain abilities that are like completely different from everybody else, but at the same time you can like use them like for
To be different.
similar things,
But
as other
think
people
about
do.
it. The way that we describe the individuality today, it's like, yeah, I'm an individual.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm different than everybody else. It's like I do this. I act like this. I go outside like this. I dress like this. I talk like this.
Yeah.
So I'm an individual.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is that like you don't really realize that like the way that you wear your clothes, the way that you talk, the way that you
Mhm.
walk, the way that like you do anything, is basically like a memory of somebody.
that's also true, yeah.
And then you call
At
yourself
the end of
an
the day,
individual.
yeah, you're trying
In
to
that
replicate.
sense,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I absolutely believe that that's a wrong way to describe the individual. I think individual means that like be a whole, like feeling like a whole, wholesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
but
like to feel an individual. That means like actually if it means like feeling like home. Because if you are an individual,
Yeah.
that means like you are whole by yourself. And being whole by yourself means like feeling at home. Because if you don't feel at home, you're not an individual. You just separate from your environment. You're
Yeah.
just isolated from your environment. You just feel different than your environment. And then
Yeah.
when you feel different than environment, it's not the feeling home anymore.
Yeah.
Isn't this? Am I talking nonsense? Is it like
No,
something
I'm
you
thinking
wanna?
about it. I'm trying to, yeah, trying to wrap my head
It's
around
I
it.
don't know. I feel crazy sometimes. Like for example, this has to. I don't know. I really don't know how to. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Honestly, that be. I don't know.
Like in order to be individual, you need to feel at home. I can agree with that with
But
the in a sense where
maybe I jumped into the conclusion too fast. But what do you think an individual is, for example? Like I think I jumped to my conclusion, and then
yeah.
like I tried to push it on you. But like what do you
Yeah,
think?
individual. Yeah, I would look at like to that from a perspective where we each have different capabilities, different abilities, different thoughts, different nationalities, for example. But yeah, I'm thinking of like
I don't think
yeah,
that's our individuality, honestly. Because
like
because
if you're
because
you
that
yeah.
then in like the word individual becomes put down, becomes surface um superficial thing.
No, yeah, I was thinking of a fact that like if you're being an individual, right? But you're a part of like certain nationality, you're not kind of
You're
being
not yeah,
individual.
exactly, in the sense that we're talking about individualism. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
this not
not
really an
being an
individual.
yeah, you're as you said, you're like living
There's
uh
controversy in all of it.
yeah, with like these predispositions as,
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
like doing certain things according to your culture. I don't know.
yeah. This is this is
Yes,
this
like
is not an individuality at
uh
all.
like having belief in certain symbolics,
Yeah, yeah. So
yeah.
that brings you out of individuality,
Yeah.
and it tells you that um, if you want to feel individual, if you want to be an individual,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean to be different.
Yeah. That's an
Because
important point
if
to
if you
distinguish.
go
Yeah.
toward a nation,
Yeah.
a type of culture, and
Yeah.
you'll be like, this is my culture.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be adapted to that culture forever. I'm
Mhm.
gonna act in this way because I'm comfortable with this and all that.
Yeah.
It's not really individuality.
Yeah.
The society told you this is the culture and this is the way that our nation works and
Yeah. Yeah.
functions. Stick to that.
In some way, it could be also a coping mechanism
Coping mechanism against what?
against feeling alone,
Feeling lonely?
feeling left out. Okay, at least I'm part of this,
Yeah,
a
because
part of this nationality, a part of this
I
country,
think I think being an individual means that you understand what does it mean to be alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think we are all had that question and had that feeling at some point in our lives, and
Feeling
lonely,
of loneliness.
like loneliness.
Yeah.
And I think being an individual means that you really understand deeply what does it mean to be lonely, what does it mean to be alone.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then you if you understand it,
Mhm.
you don't fight with it anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Yeah.
you don't try to push it away. That like, oh, I don't want to be lonely. Because
Yeah,
this
but yeah,
feeling is
there's a
like,
difference in that as well. Yeah. Yeah.
this feeling, it's not a stranger anymore. It's not strange to you anymore. It's familiar,
Yeah.
and you're okay with it from now on. Because if you feel strange to that feeling,
Mhm.
to that in the to that feeling of loneliness,
Yeah.
and that's an absolute natural feeling that we all have it.
Yeah, that's true.
We all have this question, right? And
But it's
if you
important
feel
to
strange
ask yourself that
yeah,
question.
ask yourself that
Yeah.
question, like what does it mean to be
Because as
lonely?
we said, like also obviously in our previous episodes, if you try to run away from it, it's only gonna get worse.
It's only getting worse.
It's only gonna get worse, and yeah.
But is there something that's you feel like home now?
Right now, what makes me feel like I'm at home? Um, I don't know, man. I haven't thought of this actually. I've been kind of into this cycle of just working, running around, and then doing all the things. I guess maybe in some kind of way, kind of like distracting myself from the things that I don't want to think about, you know. But yeah, feeling of home. The first thing, obviously, that comes to mind is the family.
Yeah.
If I look like, if you asked me like on the spot, I would say family.
Yeah. But you're
But
away from the family.
yeah.
So you don't feel at home?
I don't know. Yeah, I actually haven't like thought of this. I maybe I haven't like let this thought into my head
Yeah.
just because of like all
Good.
the other things that I have to think about, you know. But
It's true.
yeah, but yeah, it's
But
it's
I don't know.
what makes you feel at home? Like what makes you feel the feeling of or you
I think care.
yeah
Care is one of them.
yeah
Awareness, attention to the moment.
mm-hmm.
You know,
Like by yourself or attention from others to
because
them.
I feel
That's
like
also
feeling like home comes from interior. Like
yeah
feeling like home is not really an exterior thing.
yeah.
Of course, like exterior is not different than interior
Mm-hmm.
because like they affect each other all the time.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So of course I need to create an exterior for myself, an understanding of outside of myself in order to feel like home inside as well.
Yeah.
But of course I don't feel at home all the time. But the moments that I do, I'm filled with care, understanding.
Yeah.
I don't know, affection.
Yeah. So it's the feeling of being understood.
Feeling of being understood
Yeah.
and understand
Yeah.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Being loved and love at the same time. Give love and receive love at the same time.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty hard to. I think it's easier to give love than receive love, but
That's that's a different topic
It
of
is a different
discussion,
topic.
right? But
It
I
is a
just
different
remembered
topic.
actually at home we have this how do you say do you know the word plaquette?
Blacket,
Plaquette with P, plaquette.
blacket.
It's like a thing that you put on the wall, and it's like I don't know, Kristaps Porzingis, Tom Brady, you know, like the picture of the. Yeah. We have that kind of thing at home.
Poster.
Leaflet.
Poster?
Poster. Yeah.
A
Leaflet. Poster.
Yeah.
And it says, "Home is not where you live, is where you're understood."
Yeah. I've heard some of these like sentences like
Yeah.
when you said this, something came to my mind.
Yeah.
It's like home is not where you live, is where the love is, something like that.
Yeah.
There are a
It
lot of
varies.
sentences like
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I have watched a really really nice short movie recently.
Mm-hmm.
I encourage you and people, if they like, they can watch it.
Yeah.
It's called The Mole, the Fox and the Horse.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong, and it's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. I think you should watch it. It's worth watching.
You heard it here first, guys. The mole, the
mole,
fox,
the fox, and the horse.
and the horse.
Yeah. Oh.
Not sponsored,
watch it
but
and see, like,
hopefully will be
how-
sponsored next time. But yeah.
What do you think? Is a good wrap?
Yeah, I think we
it
should
up?
wrap it up. Yeah.
Thank you so much. This
Thank
was
you,
a
bro.
really nice conversation.
It was,
honestly.
yeah.
It was. It's
And
really nice talking about
What
this
a
stuff.
view as well. Look at the fucking airplanes. Wheeze Air, by the way. I don't know if you like
If you
saw
see it or not.
see
Yeah,
it or
that's-
not.
I don't know either.
Imagine like, look at the airplanes. There's nothing.
This episode we don't know the exact name of our fruit. Is it honeydew or is it the melon or is
Was
it
it
what did you
cantaloupe?
say?
Yeah.
Cantaloupe or something like that. I
Yeah,
don't really
but
know.
let's just
But
like jump
I'm thinking
into
that
it.
it's delicious.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
So we're just gonna dig in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, brother.
Enjoy, brother.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh sweet Jesus. That's really nice.
Sugar. I haven't had sugar today, so I love it. Trying to cut out.
I think this requires a bit of nastiness, so we're just gonna cut it off and eat this, right?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for watching.
Yeah.
I hope this podcast does something.
Yeah.
It's nice.
I think it's gonna do. Eventually, it's gonna do.
I hope that it feels like home. You know.
No. Yeah, it's
This
gonna.
podcast,
It's gonna.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah. Thank you guys, and
Ciao.
yeah. See
See
you
you.
in the next episode.